Okay, so let's start our DWSIM Basic Course Level 1. The objectives of this course, I hope you, after taking this course, you be able to set up and create a flowsheet model in the DWSIM and learn how to run a simulation in the DWSIM and view the results. Okay, the course requirements are you should have a previous knowledge on chemical engineering topics, mainly mass and energy balances, unit operations, thermodynamics, transport phenomena, and etc. 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 And of course, you must have a desktop computer with Windows 7 or newer, Linux, Ubuntu 16.04 preferably, or Mac OS. Okay. So, what is a process simulator? I took this text from Wikipedia. Process simulation is used for the design, development, analysis, and optimization of technical processes such as chemical plants, chemical processes, and environmental systems. Process simulation software describes process in flow diagrams where unit operations are positioned and connected by product or adduct streams. The software has to solve the mass and energy balance to find a stable operating point. Okay. This text I don't agree very much, but I put it here just for your information. Okay. The goal of a process simulation is to find optimal conditions for an examined process. This is not entirely true. You didn't simulate only to find optimal conditions for such a process. And this is essentially an optimization problem which has to be solved in an iterative process. This isn't true. Okay. So how a process simulator can help me and can help you? If you're a student, you will be able to understand the basic principles behind the calculations in the simulator, and you will also get the feeling about how it looks like to work on process modeling in general. After you graduate, if you choose to go to this area of, if you choose to work with process modeling, learning how to use a chemical process simulator is a great way to start ahead of the others. And for professionals, we usually check the effects of changing plant parameters without actually doing it. We don't need to go to the plant and change the parameters of the towers and change the opening of valves. We can, and to see the effect and destabilize our process, we can do it in the software, in the simulator. And we also use a chemical process simulator to design new plants and processes, evaluate the performance of existing plants. I do this a lot, and as you know later on this course and in the following courses. Optimize existing process. This is also a great use for a chemical process simulator. And save time and on quick tasks, as if your boss asks for a property of a fluid at a certain temperature and at a certain pressure, you can use the process simulator to calculate the property for you quickly and reliably. You don't have to go to the books to search for the property value. I also do this a lot at my daily work. Okay, so as you know already from the introductory course, the DWSIM is a free and open source chemical process simulator. It runs on Windows, Linux, and Mac OS. The feature set is comparable to commercial simulators, but the main difference is that with the DWSIM you can see how the calculations are done because it is open source, so the source is available for you, and with the solution inspector, which is new in v5.2, you can actually get a more user-friendly view of the calculations, as you will learn later. The source code is available, as I told before, on GitHub. And I strongly recommend you to take the developers course at the end of the basic and the intermediate and the advanced courses, so you can really understand how the DWSIM works and really understand how a process simulator works. And I'm sure you have an entirely different view on how to get the results and how to interpret the results from a process simulator. Okay?